I'm honestly thinking I need to get into a relationship or something because that's what pulls the views. That's what pulls people's interest.
Yeah, why would you want to do that?
I mean, look at Dan Bilzerian. You know, he's living a lavish life that people care about, and he's surrounded by girlfriends.
That's true.
I mean, look, okay, I don't know if you guys even know who Dan Bilzerian is, but he is literally like a legend of our time. He's living every male's dream. Literally, like, he's a multimillionaire. He's surrounded by women. He's flying private jets to different places. He's spending ridiculous money. He drives the nicest cars, has the nicest house. But how did he get all this? That's my question.
There's a lot of conspiracy around this.
Yeah, a lot.
Ton.
Okay, so should we jump into him a little bit?
I guess. Yeah.
I mean, we might as well. So allegedly,
yeah. So
his dad was what?
He got in trouble for money laundering.
Okay, so his dad was allegedly money laundering,
Yeah.
and basically he owed the government $64 million, and he didn't actually end up paying that. He ended up serving 13 months in prison, and I think paying around $3 million to the government,
Which he still denies that he is innocent about it.
right?
You know,
but like, where did the rest of the money go?
I don't know. Supposedly he set up like some trust funds for his kids, Dan and Adam. And yeah, I mean, Dan probably got some dirty money.
Well, so that would explain why he plays poker, right? Allegedly speaking.
Yeah, I mean, I guess you can just clean money in poker because supposedly he's not really good at playing poker.
Right, but he's supposedly a pro at poker. So I don't know, because the only research that I found of him actually playing in like a main event is in 2009, where he placed 180th in the World Series poker main event. So how does a man with a $200 million net worth place 180th if he's a professional poker player, allegedly speaking, of course?
He's not very good.
I don't know, but also in 2019, Ignite, the company that Dan owns, which is also publicly traded on the Canadian stock market instead of the U.S. stock market, because allegedly his father can't own public stocks in a company in the United States anymore because of what happened in the past. So, I mean, like, things add up, and also that company lost about $30 million in 2019.
How?
Well, I mean, allegedly speaking, I'm not a CPA or anything, but someone got fired from his company who was the VP and actually exposed all this, that he was spending money on yachts and paintball fields and Star Wars collectibles. I mean, all stuff that I would probably do too, but he was doing it on the company card. So basically, a news story came out that said that he was someone was paying off of his credit card bills, and this house that he owned, which is a $60 million house in Bel Air, wasn't actually an owned house. It's a rented house that he's paying $200,000 a month for, allegedly, and it's all coming out of the company account. So the company is just a giant loss. And you'd think it was doing great looking at like social media stats, because I see it everywhere. I see all these Ignite girls, and I see everyone talking about Ignite, but I mean, there's a lot of stuff that happens behind the scenes. Allegedly, of course.
You said allegedly a lot.
I'm not trying to get sued. So with that being said, we are going to bring on Dan Bilzerian's ex-girlfriend and I think a former Ignite girl onto the podcast. Let's bring on the lovely pink-haired Miss Leslie Hannah Golden.
Oh, that is me.
Welcome to the podcast. We actually have a funny story on how we first know each other.
I was thinking about this on the way here. I was waiting for this one.
Should we talk about how we?
Oh yeah, I'm
Okay.
excited for that part of the conversation.
So how it starts, guys, is first off, I saw a picture that Mr. Dan Bilzerian posted up on his Instagram. It was a bunch of girls, like always, you know the vibe of Dan's page. And there was Leslie was one of them, and like all the comments were like, "Yo, who's that blonde girl?" And I even was like, "Who's the blonde girl?" That was my comment. Like, what's the blonde girl's
like
at?
the top comment on the post.
Yeah.
And I was like,
everyone was
God.
commenting about the blonde girl, and I even did because we were all curious, like, because Dan doesn't tag really the girls, right?
yeah.
So no one knew. Anyways, Leslie ended up messaging me on Instagram saying like, "I'm the blonde girl," and I was like, "Oh, sick! This is working out really well for me right now." And anyways, fast forward. It was later that night. She was like driving down.
Oh my God. I think you were in Texas
We're
at
at
the time,
Warped
were
Tour.
you?
Oh, yeah, we're
Yeah, y'all were at Warped Tour, and I sent Brennan a topless picture of me eating an In-N-Out burger.
while driving. And
Yeah,
it
also
wasn't
while
even
driving.
no, it wasn't a picture. I think it was a video.
I think it was literally like seatbelt on, titty out, burger in hand, hand on the wheel. Where was the other hand taking the picture?
That's what I'm saying.
Maybe there was a knee on the wheel, but
Yeah, because I don't think you had any hands on the wheel.
It was definitely something in this motion.
I was like, wow, and she's talented. She does it
Yes.
all.
And then we didn't meet for like 3 years until
Yeah.
I ran into you like with my boyfriend, and I was
At like a party or something at the time.
I was like, that's the dude I sent a topless like picture
Did you
to
tell
in
him?
and out. Yeah, I mean, we were in an open relationship, so it was fine.
Oh, so you do open relationships.
It started with Dan. I will say that. It was fun. I'm not 100% into that as much anymore, but younger me was definitely like, this is fun. Why just date one person when you can date them all? So
Yeah.
I didn't want to limit myself. I didn't want to limit my experiences. So I was like, yeah, sure, whatever. I'm going to give this a shot. So it started with Dan.
Well, let's get into that. How does one go get into dating Dan Bilzerian? I didn't even know Dan Bilzerian dates girls.
So it was actually an accident. I did not message him first. It was from my account, but it was my guy friends that were in the military in Korea messaging him, pretending to be me. They were like, say like, hey, daddy. And so I was like sending him his own pictures, and I was like, daddy. I didn't think he would actually answer me back. And then he did. And I was like, I don't know what to do. He was like, come to my party this Friday. And I was like, okay. So at the time, I was working in a strip club. And I call up one of the guys. He's my friend, was not a sugar daddy, but I knew he had money. I was like, dude, I gotta go to this party. Can you please help me get a plane ticket? So he buys my flight there. I end up paying him back later on. But I go out there literally round trip. Like, I'm going in on that Friday morning, partying and leaving the next morning. That was the plan. And so, yeah, I go there. I didn't really talk to Dan at the party. I was like, if y'all know Dan, anybody that's watched Dan, you can see that he's like kind of more reserved, a little quieter. And of course, the day of an Ignite party, and this being the first Ignite party, I had nothing to go off of to be like, oh, like this man is super busy. Like, I would like just do weird shit across the room. I'd be like, I don't know what to do. And he would just kind of look at me and be like, yeah. I'd never been around a famous person before, so I was extremely nervous. That's where I was always called Hannah or Hannibal in Texas. And he only knew me from Instagram, so he started introducing me as Leslie. And that's where everybody started calling me Leslie. And it's like, I didn't want to correct him. Like, who am I to correct Dan Bilzerian? Being just a little stripper from Texas, you know? So I was just like...
From my memory, isn't this party the party that you did like a keg stand on?
It wasn't a keg stand. I just got topless the whole time.
Oh, okay.
I figured I was never going to get invited back ever again. I'm thinking like this is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. I mean, I'm there with Justin Bieber, Chris Brown. Like every famous person in LA was like there minus the Kardashians. And it was absolutely insane. My mind was blown. I didn't know what to do. I was like, I'll just drop my top. I'm like there by myself. They're recording things. And
you just titties out the whole time.
I had no other talents at the time. So I didn't. It was just the go-to. I mean, I worked in a topless strip club for like 3 years before this. So I was like, okay, this is all I know what to do. I was doing headstands on the side of the hot tub. And like twerking. That was another party trick. I was just pulling out all the party tricks all night long.
Gotta do.
And then that's whenever I blew up. Like I get off the plane in Austin, had no idea that they already like made this video and posted it and tagged me. And then the comment section was blowing up about me because he like made this whole video about me and then that picture. And so I'm like, does this man like me? He said like 2 words to me. But like that first night, he wasn't talking to me, but he liked me because I ended up getting into a fight with this girl while I was really drunk. And I texted him, and I was like, they're kicking me out. What do I do? And he was just like, for what? And I was like, I got into a fight. And he thought it was hilarious. Pulls me back in. I was supposed to leave the next morning. He kept me there the whole weekend.
Wow.
And I was like, okay. And then shortly after that, he was just flying me out all the time. And then all of a sudden, we were dating. So
wait, so like it actually was like official date. Like he asked you to be his girlfriend.
No. I just felt like I was claimed at some point, maybe.
So
where I was like, okay, I guess I'm his.
So to you guys were dating, but maybe to him, you guys weren't.
No,
Is that a possibility?
I think no, we've talked about it and stuff. It just we never had like an official asking out, and we never had an official breakup. It was just like
so you're still dating Dan Bilzerian. We have Dan Bilzerian's girlfriend on today, guys.
Technically, yeah. He never dumped me, so he's stuck with me.
Wow.
We just kind of separated at one point just because the lifestyle was really hard for me. I went from stripper and like making my own rules to being like around these like I didn't know that I was like hot. Like I like felt like it. Like yeah, I'm kind of hot. But these girls I was being around were all from LA. They all had like their nails done all the time, no tattoos. They all had hair extensions and like changed their outfit like 8 times a day while we were there.
Really?
And like just all these expensive bags and shoes. And I had never been around anything like that. So it was just like a really hard lifestyle to keep up with, both like physically and mentally. It was like a full-time job for me.
That's crazy. How many girlfriends at one time does Dan usually have?
There's typically only like one main girl at a time. I think the only time I've seen there be more than one main girl is whenever he dated Katie Bell and Hannah Palmer at the same time. And those were like his main little Barbies that he had. But whenever he was with me, of course, there were like other girls around that maybe he would hook up with, and that's where the whole open relationship thing was.
Were you allowed to hook up with other people too? Or was it just him?
I mean, I did it. He would give me shit about it. Because I lived in San Antonio. I love little Mexican boys. So he would just be like...
Hey, what's up, Leslie?
Hey.
¿Cómo estás?
But he would give me shit about it. He'd be like, you're out there fucking all these little Mexican boys. And I'm like, you have all this.
Yeah.
Why are you mad at me? Why are you mad at me?
That's funny.
But I mean, for the most part, I stayed with him for like almost 3 months straight.
Wow.
Where we were just going and traveling. Like, I would get calls. One time I was in the strip club, and he's like, we're going to Armenia. And I was like, I'm literally standing here at work. Like, you know? Like, I got to do this. And he was like, no, like, I'm going to fly you out. Like, we're going to go on this trip. Well, I'm thinking we're just going to go to, like, Armenia and come back. No, like, he puts me on a private jet from Austin to Vegas because it was the only flight going to Vegas that I could get on in that amount of time. So he flies me by myself in a private jet to him, and then we get on another private jet of his own and then fly to Armenia. We're there for a couple days. I guess this could be one of our scares is that while we were in Armenia, we went and shot guns and stuff with the Armenian military. Because Dan is Armenian and he wanted to run for president, which is why we went.
Really?
But you can't unless you live there for 5 years. So I don't know. They gave him citizenship, so that was cool. They showed us around for a bit, but whenever we went and shot with the Armenian military, it pissed off the Russians, and so the Russians were actually trying to arrest all of us, and so we had to leave early. So that was
crazy.
We were all over for that part of the world. I don't know where it's at. I'm not good at geography. That part of the world, like Turkey and Russia and all that, we were all over the news.
Oh my God! Just being out there and shooting guns.
I guess it was just because we were like supporting their military by being there, and so they were like, "F it, we're gonna arrest you."
Oh man!
So we left and we went to Thailand, and then we had that was the first Ignite Thailand trip. So that was fun, and then that's whenever I first met Hannah Palmer. She came around, and I didn't know about Katie Bell either. And we went to Hawaii right after Thailand, and that's where Hannah Palmer came around for the first time. And then all of a sudden, him and Katie and them started dating. I kind of was starting to fade out from that point after the Thailand trip and the Hawaii trip because, again, we're filming with these girls. All have these banging bodies. Most of them have BBL, so it's not my fault. I'm completely natural, so I can't blame myself there. But it was just hard to keep up with, and so I started separating myself, and then that's whenever they started dating. About, I'd say 2 months afterward.
Is there like a ton of girls just constantly trying to be the girl?
It's honestly, yeah. Sometimes I'll say the first trip that I had with Dan, where it was the first time that we hooked up and the first time that we were kind of feeling each other, it felt like summer camp. We were all having the best time. We were begging Dan. We were please don't send us home. We love it here. We all love each other so much. And there were random girls from Canada and from London, and so it's it literally felt like summer camp.
It's literally like a teenage boy's dream.
It was so much fun, but there is every once in a while, there would always be some girl that would kind of compete. And there was one girl that I was actually kind of competing with at that time because he wanted my attention and she wanted his attention. And her and I are friends now, but at that time, I just remember it was like my first real trip with Dan, and we were in Vegas, and I just remember her calling me like trailer trash, and I was like, "You're not wrong, but why are you being rude about it?" Like, I agree, but like, I'm so nice, and I like girls, so like, just be a part of it, you know? And now, like, it's crazy because her and I are friends, but it's just like, there's some competition every once in a while. I know that Dan's dated some girls that are rather aggressive, that it was like a known thing. I don't want to say names, but it was like a girl that if she was around, the other girls would be like scared to even talk to him.
Oh.
So there's like a crazy one every once in a while, but Dan likes crazy girls. So.
Interesting.
Did you do social media before this? Like before?
No. I met Dan with like 6,000 followers.
Yeah. And what are you at now?
Like 470,000.
Okay, so that's to put it into perspective.
It was up higher, and then I dyed my hair natural, and everyone was like, "Ah, f*** you, we're leaving you." They did. They exited, and then I
Really?
had to dye my hair again. So they're coming back. Slowly
Yeah,
but
you're
surely.
always. I've always really kind of known you with colored hair. Always.
Yeah, it does better for me. I'm coming out with my own hair color line soon.
Nice.
So.
That's
That's
awesome.
I'm like, yeah, I just gotta be the colored hair bitch.
Yeah.
So they don't like anything else. They don't like whenever I have like thoughts and opinions.
I mean, I feel like
so.
there's not very hot girls with colored hair.
That's
so you just gotta
true.
take the lane.
I think
I
all
mean-
girls are hot.
That's a fact. Have you seen women? I love when women
Just be women.
you know? But just to go back, what was going through my mind, I didn't know what to think of it. I didn't come from that. I didn't come from money. I come from a very big family. My parents were divorced, remarried. We did foster care, adopted, so like a lot of kids. And I'm just like middle child, you know, and I was still that kid that like I still did pageants and stuff like that. Even I thought that was fancy. I was a college cheerleader before. Stuff like that, but like just small town East Texas girl.
Yeah.
So this was like absolutely unheard of where I'm from. And so like I'm a celebrity whenever I go.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, like straight up people crowd me and like
No
take pictures of me
way.
and It's crazy. Like I get in trouble if like my friends' parents are like, you can't go out without security because like I've had a guy try to fight me.
No way.
Wow.
Yeah,
What?
like he straight up like was shoving
He's
me.
like, Dan is mine.
Yeah, something like that. I don't know. I think he just like brings out the Neanderthal in men sometimes, where they're like, just want to abuse women. I love them so much.
Oh,
you know,
man.
not him, but that's
random guy
not
in
good to say.
Texas.
The random Texas men that are portraying that,
Yeah.
where you know, people think that Dan like mistreats the girls or that he pays them to be there, and that's
Does
just
he not, though?
it. No,
Because I
That's
heard
the
like all
thing.
these girls have like model contracts and like
They
they're models
have
for
model
Ignite.
contracts where they get paid for the content that they post for Ignite, just like a regular brand
Right,
deal.
and they're not going to get content unless they're hanging out with Dan and being there at the house.
And that's the thing. The only time that they get paid is for the work that they do with Ignite.
right.
They're not like, it's not like Dan's being creepy and being like, hey, baby, come stay with me. I'll give you $5,000.
No,
You
yeah.
don't have to do any work. It's not like that. It's just like, hey, if you want to come out, you can work for Ignite. Like, you know, we do photo shoots while we're there. We make content. We take videos.
Right, but isn't it assumed that, you know, like maybe if I play my cards right with Dan, I might get, you know, more money or I might get a better contract.
I'm sure there's girls that think like that, but I mean, I guess everybody has their own motives. Mine, personally, I liked him. There was, like, whenever I first met him, I was very intimidated, but we're both from the South. We both have, like, a lot in common. We like shooting guns and, like, we like off-roading and stuff like that. And we both like women, so it was
There
just,
it
like,
goes.
working out. I mean, we were just better off as friends. We're more buds than anything, but there are definitely girls that I've seen girls come up to him in the club while we're in Vegas and be like, I want to suck your dick right now.
No way.
Like, obsessed with him. And it's either a power thing or the fact that he's an older man or the fact that he has facial hair or the fact that he's got a lot of money. Like, there's a multitude of reasons why women throw themselves at him, but I've legit seen women throw themselves at him, so he has no reason to be like, okay, I have to pay this girl to come
Right.
around, because there's plenty of women that will be there for free.
Right.
So
Yo, on the topic of facial hair, have you seen Dan Bilzerian without a beard?
I Googled it a couple weeks ago.
It's terrifying.
Love him to death, but he should always keep the beard.
yeah.
Yeah.
And it's a strong beard, so he can.
You know, I actually got invited to go to Dan's party one time, like a year ago, and by him, right? So it was like I made this funny little story, you know, that was just like, oh, I don't even remember what it was. But it was like basically like something like, oh, like everyone's going to like, oh, I'm gonna have to let my girlfriend go. It didn't even have a girlfriend. Like, I can't let my girlfriend go to Dan's party, like something like that. I don't know. It was something stupid. Anyways, he hits me up on my DMs. He's like, come through, and I was like, oh. like I have to, but I couldn't be like the guy because I never talked to him in my life after that. It was just I was making a funny story and he saw it, and I couldn't be like the guy that can be like, can I have a +1? You know, because I can't ask Dan for a +1, especially to bring like another guy to his party.
I ask all the time. I'm like, hey.
Yeah, I didn't want to because I didn't know him. You dated him, so it's a little different. You know?
I still never get the +1.
I had to pull up to his party alone, like knowing no one, and it was a lingerie party. So like we were in line, and it's freezing. By the way, it's cold.
Yeah.
And like some security guard comes down and goes, "You're not coming in if you're wearing lingerie," like to the girls, and like the girls are literally taking off their dresses, putting them in their purses because some girls just pulled up in like regular dresses, and like literally like it was a girl like head of HR or something that was like kicking people out unless they were in lingerie, and I was like, damn, this is like hardcore. Like these girls really want to go to this party.
It's more than like a festival.
Yeah,
it's straight up it's an event. It's an experience.
It was crazy. Everything that I seen, that all the famous people just walking around, just chilling, like it validates your story earlier about seeing Justin Bieber. So I think I was just chilling with MGK at one point.
Yeah, I played tennis with Chris Brown. Like,
that's an experience.
I wasn't even good at it. I was like, I've never in my life thought about picking up a tennis racket until this very moment.
Wow.
I'm like, I'll do this.
Yeah.
But yeah, those parties are absolutely insane. There was a point where I stopped going to them because they got so crowded.
Yeah.
They weren't limiting the people that were coming in, and it's so shoulder to shoulder in there, even though it's a massive fucking house. Especially whenever Dan walks around, you got to expect 40 people to be crowding him. He moves as like a vessel. He's That's a crazy. Unit. He moves like this with all these people at all times. So if you can just be chilling there. They have like a whole sushi bar. I'll be sitting there getting sushi, and then all of a sudden like 40 people, like a wave of people will come by and just knock me over. So, like, the Halloween parties and stuff like that are, in my opinion, the worst because of all the costumes.
Right.
I wore angel wings in there one time.
Oh, bad idea.
And it was just like my wings were, like, getting ripped off, and I was just, like, getting stuck in the crowd of people. It was just too much.
And the amount of people that are waiting outside that can't even get into the party is bigger than the amount of people that are in the party. It's crazy.
Well,
like,
people show up and try to bribe their way in.
Exactly.
They're like, they have no invite, no rights to the party, especially like dudes. It's so hard to get guys in.
Oh my God.
Sure.
I even had a best friend that was lying to girls because he was my friend and was saying that he's been to Ignite parties and that, oh, I'm going to show your pictures to Dan, blah, blah, blah. Like, you should come over tonight or something like that.
Wow.
Yeah, so I just found out, like, a couple months ago. She sent me all the screenshots. I just never replied to him again. And he called me on another number one time on FaceTime, and I answered it, and I was getting my hair done. All I said was, like, I know what you did. And, like, so that's been, like, a hard thing in my life is the fact that people use the fact that I dated Dan, even though it was 2018. They still use that to, like, get with women and stuff.
That's crazy.
Damn.
Yeah, people are, like, real weird. They get real weird around him. They get to those houses and they don't know how to act.
Yeah.
So those parties get really crazy. Just like my first party, like, I got in a fight because some girls threw vodka in my eyes, and then I was staying in a room with another girl, and while I was washing it out, French Montana came in with a girl, and his bodyguard and was like, hey, get out. We're going to have sex in here. He didn't say it, but that's what they're literally going to do. They're like, get out. We got to And I was like, let me finish patting my face.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure I just watched a girl go into the closet. And I go in there and look, and this girl's put on an entire outfit that's not hers and is wheeling my roommate's suitcase out of the room.
Oh, wow.
Well, I guess all the vodka, like, eye stuff, all the, like, alcohol that entered through my eyes was hitting me very intensely, and I was just, like, raging. It's like, I'm a stripper. I work so hard for my things. You're not even stealing my stuff, but I'm mad.
That's so crazy. I actually, when I was there, like, they have security. I don't know. Maybe I was at the peasant. They've
gotten a lot.
I was, in the peasant bathrooms because they would not let I wasn't trying to, but I was watching other people try to bring in other people into the bathroom, and, like, the security was like, nope, not happening. Well, one person per bathroom. So
the bathroom lines are the absolute worst. Like, to the point that I don't drink at those parties anymore because, like, I'll start directing the bathroom line. Like, I'm too bossy. I'll get in there. I'll be like, ladies, get in there and then get out. Like, care about each other. Nobody cares if you do coke here. You're at Dan Bilzerian's house. Just do it out there. Like, you know?
Yeah, and I remember they were passing out condoms with the Ignite logo on, and I was like, damn.
I have a couple at the house. I've never used them. I don't know if I trust them.
I know. I was like, this is kind of
they're probably cheap, but, like, it's cool.
It's cool.
A lot of babies will be made through these Ignite condoms.
Definitely.
and, like, at those parties, too.
Yeah.
So.
I want to talk about being openly bi. Like, from a guy's perspective, like, it's all, oh, yeah, she's bi. That's cool. But you've told me some stories of like
It sucks.
the bad.
I mean, it's so fun. I'm a very, like, I guess if you go by the textbook definition, I'm pansexual. I'm a very much, like, I don't care what you have downstairs. As long as you're hot up here, it doesn't matter. You can be a femboy or, like, an androgynous woman. I don't care. If you're hot, and that's just kind of it for me. Mm-hmm. The back end of things is probably the fact that as soon as a man hears that I'm bi, he automatically thinks hot lesbian sex.
Yeah,
and is automatically like, so you scissor? Oh, so you have threesomes? So that means I'm going to get a threesome. I'm like, no. You're not in charge here, and that's not how it works. Because I don't even sexualize women as much as, like, the men that come around me and, like, try to push me to do.
Yeah.
Like, I have men that send me women all day long in my DMs. Like, just hoping that I'll fuck them.
Really?
Like, just like, look at this one. Like, just hoping I'm going to be like, you know what? I'm going to have sex with that one and send you a video. It was okay that I was bi for the past few years as long as I only dated men. And I recently came out with dating a girl like 6 months ago, and I posted her. And as soon as I posted her, it was for a brand deal. It was a gummy vitamin thing, and she hugged me from behind, and that was it. And that is probably, like, I would say around the third time I've ever gotten, like, super crazy, horrible comments.
You got hate from that?
So much hate. Like,
wow.
Rape threats, death threats from religious people. Just men basically saying that they're going to fuck me straight.
Oh, my God.
And just calling her the ugliest things. And in my opinion, she was a very beautiful girl. Like, she was like a Ruby Rose lesbian is what I call her. Like, because she was very androgynous but had a very pretty face. And people were just like, oh, give the dyke a tool belt and she'll look even more like a 15-year-old boy that she wants to be, you know?
That's so messed up.
Like, mean shit. Like angry that I chose to date a woman that isn't in a dress, you know? Like, I get the thing all the time, like, if you're going to date a dyke, you might as well just date a boy. And I'm like, that's not the point. The point is that I don't give a fuck and that this person is doing it for me right now, so why does it matter, you know? But I just feel like if, like, the men at, like, 45 and above, like, after they die, it might be a little easier. I just feel like it'll be, like, because we're getting to that, like, woke generation where they're, like, almost a little too woke, but, like,
sure.
they'll sizzle out once their hormones settle down, you know?
Yeah.
Like, those TikTok kids are really on it, and people can say what they want about TikTok boys, like, doing dances and, like, painting their nails, but, like, at least they're not racist. So, like, you know, it's been hard because I've been out as being bi my whole life, and I never got backlash until I was out dating a girl. And then it was like so many men were offended, and it's because my original following is from Dan. Like, it's not all of my following. Him and I, like, kind of started separating, and I started building my own platform after he got me to, like, 60,000 followers. But I still have, like, these men from, like, India and from, like, these foreign countries that, you know, being gay is still, like, considered a crime. Yeah. And so, like, they're cool with it as long as it's, like, girl on girl.
Right. Something that they'd enjoy watching or something.
Yeah, yeah. If it's not something that they want to watch, then they're like, burn it, you know?
What's the craziest DM you've ever gotten?
Oh, I started screenshotting mine here recently.
I'm
gonna do it on I'm gonna do it on TikTok.
Good.
And the weird things I see on Hinge.
Okay.
Yeah, I started screenshotting that too because people's Hinge profiles are pretty funny.
Oh,
but
I bet. What's the craziest thing you've gotten in the DMs that you've screenshotted or have or whatever?
I think so. Like, I don't know. I think I'm a little desensitized at this point because it's been years. Like
Right.
of course, there's like I get offered for threesomes all the time by like, you know, women and men, like married couples. I think what's coming to mind as the worst one would have to be this person that was saying that it's so bad, it's so mean. It's like so aggressive, like telling me that they hope that I was raped and had my head cut off to learn like what I'm supposed to be as a woman, aka straight. Like that one was probably the worst one that I got, and it was like he wouldn't stop messaging me, and I just like it was like I could scroll through it of all these like really horrible things that he was like wishing onto me after I posted that video. But other than that, like I get invited to random shit all the time. I get invited to people's weddings. And, like, I get invited to prom all the time.
I get invited to prom, but that's just a weird request.
It's weird for you because you're an older male.
Yeah, I'm a grown man. I can't go to no proms. Like,
with, like, little girls. Like, it's definitely different.
But isn't that kind of weird that it's different? Like, we're like the same age. How old are you?
I'm 23.
Okay, so I'm like 2 years older than you, but it's still isn't it kind of weird that it's okay for a girl to go to like a prom with like a 17-year-old guy, but
I understand that. I just feel like it's because, like, you know, men get marked as predators. Yeah. And I do, like, since we're on that topic, that's a big topic in the world right now. I do understand that it's not all men. It's not. And I don't think that men should be, like, deemed as, like, these horrible beings, because I have a lot of amazing male friends that would never do that. But, I mean, it is important to talk about the men that do that stuff. So it's like, I don't want to, like, take away from those women that have been through shit, because I am a woman that's been through stuff like that. But, you know, I don't think, you know, not all men is a valid argument, but I do understand why some men would be hurt, because there are men that, you know, have sisters, and really, like, I know that y'all have an amazing relationship with your mom.
Yeah.
So I know that y'all would never, but it's like, it's just so crazy.
Yeah. It's
crazy times right now.
It really is a crazy time. And I think almost because, I don't know, I think that we're in crazy times because people have so much time.
Yes.
Yeah.
We don't have time to run and hide from our shit right now.
Right.
Everything's being pulled out during quarantine because everybody has, like, so much time on their hands. And speaking of, if you're watching this, you should go to therapy instead of coming to my comment section and being rude to me.
Tell
so,
them.
like, everybody needs therapy right now.
I want to go to therapy.
I want to go to therapy, too.
Therapy is a really good thing for people.
Oh, you do, too. What the hell are you talking about?
Like, normalize taking care of your mental health instead of coming and telling me I have no ass.
Yeah.
Like,
well, I think
why are you really mad? Let's get to the deeper thing. It's because you're not going to be able to have sex with me. Well, not because I have no ass. Me not having an ass doesn't mean anything. Like, it doesn't cause anything negative in your life.
Right. Like, let me live happily with my no ass.
Exactly.
Like, what does it bother
I
you?
just don't get it. People are so mean online right now. And I'm just like, it's because you're all hurting. And, you know, we're still, I think in our generation, it wasn't really told to us that it was, like, okay to go to therapy and take care of your mental health. If anything, you were kind of told that, like, you had to be, like, mentally ill to go, like, do stuff like that. Or you were weaker. You were kind of like a pussy, you know? But now I'm, like, I'm glad that this generation is, like, normalizing taking care of your mental health, because, like, everybody really needs some extra healing right now.
That's true.
100%.
This generation is becoming a lot more ballsy, and they're being taught, because we were taught growing up, like, you respect your elders and what they say goes. And I always challenged that whenever I was younger. And I don't think I'm the right person to, like, lead a revolution or some shit, because I still have anxiety. So, but I never agreed with that. Like, I had teachers that bullied me and, like, you know, would basically tell me, like, your friends are going to go on to the next grade and you're not, because you're not very smart, are you? Yeah. And then you're not going to get to cheer next year. Like, I had a math teacher telling me that in the 8th grade. I had a fucking learning disability. Yeah. I had to go to special ed.
Oh,
I was in special ed.
Yeah. We had that person that would come around and watch us.
Yeah, love it.
Yeah.
The little extra time I needed to look up, like,
the
certain answers.
I got extra time on tests.
Yeah, I'd be like, can you please help me? I don't know the answer. And she'd be like, okay, this is how you do it. I'm like, oh, thank you.
I just got passed along. I almost didn't graduate high school.
Really?
Yeah, that's why I don't think I could ever pass college, is because
I'm about to force myself to go back.
You're going to go back?
I have no work experience, like no real world work experience. And I want to work in a spa. Like, I want to be off social media in the next 2 years unless I'm doing, like, something incredible with my stuff, which I plan to be, you know, making iDip into something a lot bigger. iDip stands for I dabble in pussy, just so you know. That's my brand.
Trademark patented by Leslie.
No, literally.
Can I join iDip?
Yeah. I mean, it's for anyone who dabbles. Yeah. That's the point. It's like guys buy my stuff more than girls do, because I literally have, like, a smiley face that says tastes better, and they're like, I can get behind that, you know? Yeah. So I'm hoping to make that into, like, a prep school for the gays, and where we run around and do like Nelk Boy style, but, like, a little gayer, because there's no like gay lesbians running around, like, tearing shit up, and I just feel like there should be. Like, I just feel like it would be so fun, and everybody would want to watch it.
You gotta lead that revolution, Leslie.
I'm leading the gay revolution, so hopefully. It sounds like a mission I could handle, but
Yeah. Hey, good for you. Go dabble in some. Yeah. But look, the name of the show is share your scares. So I want to get into some of your scares. I know you've kind of like roughed us in a little bit in the beginning with some crazy stories that you have. So let's jump into some.
So, to be honest, I've lived a very crazy lifestyle. Very, very crazy. I was a stripper for 4 years. I've dated drug dealers. Every person I've ever dated has sold weed. I just found that out the other day. Every single person I've ever dated has sold weed, except for one
Do you
guy.
sell weed?
I don't sell weed.
She's never going to
One
date
guy
you.
like owned an orphanage.
Damn it!
That was about it. But yeah, you haven't sold weed? It's not too late.
I know. I mean, I'm not going to incriminate myself.
It's legal now.
Yeah, but I don't think the social media guy could just be slinging off this. You know what I mean?
But you could
I
date
know.
Leslie.
I don't know why that's like. It's not the requirement. I think it was just the type of people I was around.
Maybe that's why you have so many scares, though.
It is. I grew up in a very small country town, and my parents all worked at a prison. Like, my dad worked death row for 15 years in Texas at Telford. My mom's a criminal psychologist and a drug treatment specialist, and my stepdad is a retired warden. So my parents were very strict.
Oh, shit.
Wow.
And I'd
hate to be caught going out late.
horrible.
That family.
Nope, I snuck out every night. I got kicked out in the 8th grade, so that's where I started having problems. Was like I was a part of like this older group that was so much more like popular, but they were like really bad. They were the bad kids of the grade above me.
Yeah.
And so I was just like, whatever they wanted to do, I was on board. I was like, okay, yeah, sure, we're doing it. So I just was always a person that lived on the edge. And then I always moved very quickly. I'm very, how do you say, impulsive. Mm-hmm. Very impulsive. So I'm just going to tell a short story because I have a lot of crazy stories, but they're all too long and we might have to save them for another podcast. But this one in particular, I met a boy at a music festival. And It was my first music festival ever in San Antonio. I literally met him because I was trying to buy Molly. And there was like this house it was like apartments that were kind of like loft style. And all the doors faced on the outside, and a lot of people had their doors open. It was right across the street from the festival. Okay. So it was after the first day, me and my friend are like running around. We're like, some of these doors are open. Let's just go ask people for drugs. And so we're like going up to the door like, hello, do you know where I can get Molly and blah, blah, blah. And
just random people.
Random people.
Oh my God.
Because they're having like parties and it's all open, whatever. It's in San Antonio and they go hard over there. I'm going back to San Antonio soon. I love it over there. So we walk into one house and they're passing out shots and they're like, actually, we know somebody. A little bit later tonight, we're going to have a party on the rooftop, so y'all just come back. Or I come back, I meet the guy, and he's just like, oh, like, we couldn't find any, but at least y'all are here. We're going to have a party. And I was like, well, this sucks. Yeah. So the next day we end up going back to their house and we pre-gamed with them before we went to the festival because they were going too. And the guy was there, the guy that was supposed to have the drugs, who was the one that I eventually started dating. Well, I go with him to the music festival, kind of like leave all my friends. I was like, I'm going to go take care of that situation. He ends up getting into a fight. He, like, pushes us through the front of the crowd. I feel like this should have been a red flag. Automatically gets into a fight with a guy, breaks his nose. They pull us out and kick us out of the whole event. Oh, my God. And it was right before the finale. So I was like, I have no battery service or anything. He's like, we can just go back to my house and, like, chill out, And so I did. I ended up staying with him for 2 weeks. After that night, my friends literally all drove back. Wow. Him and I just, like, started dating. And I ended up moving in with him,
after 2 weeks?
About a month later, I moved in with him.
Oh, man.
And he lied about having a job. He would get dressed and go to work, and he had no job. He wasn't going anywhere. He was go hang out with his friends. He was lying to me. He had no car. He told me that it was in the shop. Until one time he was like, it's not actually in the shop. My friend crashed it, and I didn't want to make him pay for it. Oh. And I was like, okay, well, like 6 months later, I found out that it got repossessed because he never paid for it because he didn't have a job this whole time. So I'm, like, paying for this guy's stuff, everything, because his mom was the one paying for it. And I was like, I can handle this, blah, blah, blah. Like, I'm a stripper. It's fine. Dude was taking my money from me, lying. He told me one night while I was out of town that he had to go bail his brother out of jail. And that it was like $300. And I was like, okay, so I sent it to him. And while I'm dating him, he like comes clean to me one night while he's drunk and is like, I just wanted to take my friends out. So he was stealing money from me. That's messed up. One night, I finally tried to leave him. Long story short, he stalked me, beat me up, and went to jail because some people saw it happening and they called the cops on him. He ran from the cops and You know, it was like a struggle with the cops and all this stuff. So he ends up going to jail. Nobody calls me whenever he gets out, and they're supposed to, and I still live in the same place. It's only been like about a week or so. Well, he's broken in. As soon as he gets out of jail, his mom came and dropped him off at my house. And I was like,
God.
You're so stupid. You're the dumbest woman ever, I swear. So sweet. She couldn't hurt a fly, but Jesus. You know, I get home, he's made a shrine to our relationship. You know, there's like, some houses have like a built-in like cutout hole in the wall, and you can put like pictures there. There was no paper in the house, so I guess he took some cardboard and like wrote me a love letter, which is horribly misspelled. This guy had the worst grammar ever. It would piss me off. Had to teach him words all the time. So he's like writing me a love letter that's horribly misspelled, all the grammatical errors. I'm like literally having the hardest time reading this. He's gone across the street and picked me flowers. He used to call me like a sunflower. I don't even know why I think that's the dumbest flower ever. It's not my favorite. I like roses, so I don't know why that was like the nickname. But he's picked them, and you know how you pick flowers and you put them in water?
Yeah.
He put them in dirt.
Wait, like a vase of dirt.
Yeah, it was a cup. He used my cup, not even a vase. We didn't even have a vase, so he's like taken my cup outside, scooped up some dirt, picked a flower and stuck it in there like it's gonna grow. He's the dumbest guy I've ever dated. With our like festival bracelets there, a spoon, and each thing that's like sitting there is like a part of this letter. He was like, this is the first silverware that we bought for our relationship. And I'm just sitting there like, this dude's gonna come out and kill me, and I'm sitting here reading this. He was hiding in my bathroom behind the door, and I like am on the phone with my friend. I was like, I guess he's not here. I guess he just broke in and left this here. And I go to pee, and I open up the door, and he's just like there.
So what happened?
I just told him, I was like, what the f-?
Did you scream?
No, at this point, I
would have shit myself in that moment.
No, I just thought he was so stupid, so I wasn't even scared at this point. I was just like, really? You realize you're going to go straight back to jail now, right? Like, you're breaking your, like, all these laws right now. You just got, like, out of jail, and this is the first place you come, and you think, I'm not going to call on you? So there was, like, this police officer that, like, lived in our building that came and did welfare checks on me all the time. And I basically just had to be like, Oliver, he's here. He came straight back here. There was no, like, fight or anything like that. But it was just really creepy. He was a creepy dude. Like, just to add to the scare, he was, like, psychologically fucked up.
Really?
He was driving my car one time after picking me up from work at the strip club, where I'm paying both of our bills. And some guy said bye to me as I'm leaving. Like, there's regulars and stuff. He's just like, bye, Jordan. That was my stripper name.
Jordan?
Yeah, it's my sister's name. She's religious.
Her religious sister's identity to be a stripper.
All the other good names were taken, so.
But there's generators for like stripper names.
There's a website.
Yeah, but you know, a lot of strip clubs won't let you choose like cinnamon. Like, they won't let you name yourself after a car or food.
Really?
Yeah, because it's like they want a certain look towards these men. But to finish that one story, we'll go into the stripper details. I have a lot of insight to give on strip clubs. It's fun.
Okay.
But we're driving down the road, and he's like mad, and he's talking like I'm not in the car, and he's drawing crosses on my windshield, going, God, forgive me for what I'm about to do. And he's talking about throwing us off the interstate.
Oh my God.
Like, wrecking us off of the highway. We're on a bridge on the highway, like up in the air, and I'm just like, damn, this is really how I'm about to die. Like,
wait,
like,
so like
what?
how did you stop that from happening?
I mean, we just argued the whole way home. He wasn't actually gonna do it.
Oh God.
You know, I just tell him I'm a very straight up, very blunt person. Whenever somebody gets really dramatic like that, I don't cry. I don't get scared. I think I'm more of like puzzled. Like, why are you being so sus for?
How did you
Sus.
Hey, shout out sus. How did you get out of the relationship eventually?
He went back to jail. And I moved. So, yeah, he never went and, like, paid his bail bonds and stuff. But, yeah, just with the help of good old Texas police department,
And with,
I dipped out.
and with
There
you,
might be some good in the jail system.
maybe.
You know?
It may be.
With
I
you
think
being
just that.
with the social status that you have now, has he tried to like reach out to
Oh,
you?
yeah. He makes, like, fake accounts all the time. Would be like, it's me.
Oh my God.
I miss you. I'm so sorry for everything I did. And I'm just like, I could forgive him, but I know that he's the type of person that as soon as I reach out and I'm like, you know what? All is forgiven. The past is in the past. He's going to try to leech back onto my life. And that's something that I don't want to do. Like, I've had one other person in my life really fuck me over on social media. Like, took a very personal story of mine and blasted it on the internet. And it was, like, a huge story. Mm-hmm. And I tried to recently forgive him. And then he came back into my life and just, like, leached back onto things. And I had to, like, remove him again. Like, he's the type of person that I will have to forcibly remove. Wow. I can't just, like, forgive him and then, like, go our separate ways. It would be like I forgive him and then he's going to tell everybody that we're best friends and probably show our text messages and stuff like that. So it's just somebody that, like, he honestly doesn't deserve to be forgiven right now because he's still that type of person. Right. And I know so because my friends still run into him. Like, my best friend lives in San Antonio, and she has run into him because she actually f***ed him. That's how I met her. He cheated on me with her. Good story. She's my best friend now.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, he was just telling her that was just some girl that liked to paint for him because my paintings were in the house that I was living in. Oh, my God. He was like, yeah, this girl just comes in and paints for me. Like, what?
Wow.
You got some stories, girl.
I do.
Yeah, that is crazy. I don't even know how, like, that even actually happens. Like,
I don't know. It just unfolded so quickly where, like, the main thing is he was on steroids and had a cocaine and drinking problem. So there's that. Wow. I don't think I've ever dated somebody that didn't have some kind of, like, problem.
So
like,
do you think maybe that
issue.
you're, like, you think maybe deep down you're maybe a problem solver and that's why you date these guys?
I think I just thank you for the inclusivity.
Of course.
Good job. I think I'm somebody that I've had a lot of obstacles in my life, and so I don't want to judge somebody if they have a couple obstacles. I'm going to judge you by the work that you put in instead of being like, oh, like, you've been to jail, that's a red flag, I'm going to leave. Instead, I'm like, well, you're out now. You're doing so good. So far, you're not back in there, so at least you got out. At least you didn't have, like, a life sentence, so, you know? That's just where my brain goes, and now I'm incredibly picky with my energy. That's what I think I've learned the most in quarantine is being like, okay, like, my energy is very valuable, and what I have to give to somebody else is very valuable, and so I can't just throw that away on, like, a trash person that doesn't have a job. Now I'm going to be like, can you show me where you work so that you can't lie to me?
Yeah, show me your bed frame. Let me see that there's an actual bed frame there.
Yes, that's it.
Yeah, I saw a TikTok that was like, it shows what kind of person you are based on your bed frame. And I just got a really nice bed frame.
But mine's like, my bed frame is I have windows that go all across my wall. So, and then I have satiny bed sheets. My whole house is a vibe. It's a whole art piece.
Yo, this kid just got UGG bed sheets and he's living by it.
Oh my God,
why are you so
amazing,
bougie?
Amazing.
Damn, you're gonna show me later?
Yeah, I bought a bed.
Turn me on with that home decor.
I bought a bed that moves.
Why?
Because it's the best sleep.
Does it?
You know,
does it
like,
counteract wherever you're fucking?
Yes, you
like,
don't need. You don't. You know, sleeping flat is actually really bad for you and your back. And when you get in this bed, it goes to zero gravity mode. That kind of goes like this.
Yeah, you can never go back.
To sleep in a V.
It's so amazing. It sounds crazy.
I kind of did that last night. There was a lot of pillows up behind me, so like unintentionally got.
Do you feel better though?
Sleep. I mean, I don't know. I smoke a lot of weed, so I feel like doesn't weed like keep you from getting to REM sleep?
Yeah, I haven't had a dream in months.
I have dreams.
I don't have any dreams.
I have very vivid dreams. I've always had vivid dreams. I sleepwalk. I talk in my sleep. To the point that my family had to go get me like tested.
You sleep? You talk in your sleep?
I have a whole
we're not gonna work.
conversation.
I'm sorry. I can't.
It's not every night, so I'm not like super
That
creepy.
scares me. That would scare me if I'm sleeping and I hear you talking. That would terrify me. I'm sorry. And if you walk too, I'm sorry.
It's honestly, I don't get up and casually
hate
walk
on
around.
anyone.
I run.
That's even scarier. Imagine waking up.
I get so scared.
Wait. Imagine waking up. You need to go get a glass of water. It's 4 a.m. and you see Leslie just running down the fucking hall at you. Oh hell no! I'm out.
No, my thing is I have like nightmares, and I live alone right now in a very scary neighborhood where my neighbors have openly discussed that they don't like me by putting those windows, like the signs up in their windows that say yuppie trash and gentrification is colonization. Also, I have a video of them throwing a firework on my front porch. So they don't want us there. And I'll like wake up and you know how you think a pile of clothes is like a person or something? Yeah. That is what happens to me.
Oh my God.
I shoot out of bed and be like, what the fuck is that? Who's this little Mexican man breaking into my house? Like, because that's who I thought it was a couple weeks ago. And I was like, oh, damn. Like, I've actually gotten out of bed and, like, ran. Like, I was terrified.
And then you were like, it's just my brown puffer jacket.
I'm like, oh, my bad. Like, I'll like just walk back to bed. Frustrating. I thought something was happening. Yeah, it's always that I think somebody's in my house. And so I think it's probably because that dude broke in.
Do you have a weapon?
I know where the knives are. I keep a knife on my bedside table. I've thought about, because there's like a railing in my house because it's a loft. There's a rail right next to my bed. I've thought about setting up a gun right there that points towards the front door because it's like this.
Like on a string?
That would be cool. No, like a gun, like actually.
An automatic gun just
like
goes off, anyone walks in.
Like this type of gun. Already like sat up on a thing. I feel like that would be cool and it would kind of go with the aesthetic of my house.
Wow.
It's like,
but if someone already breaks in, they're already past the front door, so that gun's going to be useless.
yeah, that's true. I didn't think about that. They'd have to get up the stairs. They'd have to know the layout of my house.
Yeah.
I have cameras.
Yeah, that's important.
I do need more weapons though. I've had a peeping Tom in LA.
What?
That sucked. I've had to put some restraining orders out on people. Started with so first of all, I've had a creepy type of neighbor, male figure at every single place I've ever lived.
Oh my.
So started with the man that lived across from my childhood house that would ask to spray tan me all the time. Like
how old were you?
hand spray tan. It started whenever I was like 14.
Damn.
Because I was a pageant girl, and I would be like in the yard, and he would come up to me like, "Hey, you can come use my pool whenever you want.
That's freaky.
My pool is clean right now. You can come use my pool." And then like I think whenever my parents finally recognized it was a problem is that he came up to me at a gas station and like asked for my phone number, and I was 16. And I was like, I've been telling y'all this man has been trying to spray tan me for years. Then I had crazy boyfriend in San Antonio break in. And then I had a neighbor that I met at the mailboxes. And I had a friend over one time. Thankfully, I had like a guy friend over. We're just like chilling in my kitchen and I had a long hallway. He just like walked all the way in.
The neighbor?
And was just like, hey, what are y'all doing? And I was like, you're in my house.
That's so
like, that's weird. Like, you can't be in here.
Yeah.
And he actually... met my best friend a couple months ago and was telling her all kinds of crazy shit. Like acted like he didn't know her, was hanging out with her alone because they met through like mutual friends, and then midway through them hanging out, they're just like grabbing tacos and drinks. All of a sudden he starts talking about me and starts talking about personal details in her life, being like she was like, I thought that he didn't know me, and then all of a sudden he knew me because she does TikTok too. And we're like known for being best friends, especially in San Antonio. Like, so people bother her about me and Dan all the time. So weird. And he started, like, trying to say that, like, he had sex with me and all kinds of stuff. So I had to message him. And he's, like, threatening me, being like, my best friend's aunt works with Akon. And I was like, yeah, Akon's going to take the time to go out of his busy way to expose me online for what?
Right.
For what? What are they going to do? Like, it's just
I
so
will
weird.
say, like... You know, people do say girls are crazy, but I think guys are crazier.
Men don't get labeled as crazy enough.
Yeah, there's a lot of
for sure.
weirdos out there. Because I've heard some really strange stories from girls that it's just like, what the f***, that really happens? Like, that's scary.
Well, it's just women, like, if you look at society, women are labeled as being, like, crazy and they overreact. And I understand that. Like, I've dated women, too, and they can be psycho, but so can men.
Yeah.
Men are scarier whenever they're, like, psychologically f***ed up. Like, homeboy that was trying to kill me driving down the road.
Yeah.
I was just sitting there like, what kind of shit did I get myself into? This is, like, creepy. And because y'all can overpower us so much easier. But I just feel like it's not talked about enough. There are some crazy dudes out there. And,
For sure.
So then I ended up I blocked him. He texted me from another phone. I texted that back, blocked it again. He texted me from another phone. I'm like, how many phones does this guy have? Absolutely crazy. I feel like I should file a report. I haven't yet. It's been a while, but I definitely should because dude was a psychopath. Then I fast forward. I'm living in Santa Monica, and I didn't know that apartments could come without air conditioning because I am from Texas and my last roommate was from Miami.
Oh, but maybe in Santa Monica because it's so cold. It's like always cool.
It's not cold, but like it was a cheaper apartment and a lot
How
of.
much was a cheaper apartment in Santa Monica? I'm just curious.
Well, I mean, it was like 2,600, 2-bedroom, 2-bath. I mean,
and no AC?
no AC.
For that much?
Well, and the thing is that it said it on the thing, and then we moved in, and there was no AC. We could have gotten cheaper rent, but I mean, so we would keep the door open all the time, the front door, and there was a staircase right across from there. My old roommate, she just had this bust down body and would like never wear clothes. Like she's always in these tiny little crop tops and shorts, and I would be like, bro, you got to put some clothes on because I keep seeing this dude walk by. Yeah. And then I would catch him being on that staircase, just like.
No.
No way.
No way.
He would,
I hope we see her in that shot.
He would crouch down and be like, and I would be like up in the house like, I see you, fucking weirdo.
What?
Yeah, and then so I'm getting dressed one day, and I was so scared because I've never had an apartment be on like ground level, and this was second floor, but there was a window that you could walk past, and it was massive windows, and I'm like, in my head, I'm like, you could easily break into that.
Yeah.
So I put my bed frame up against my window, but it had those blinds that go straight down.
Yeah.
So sometimes those blinds would catch and
move a
would be
little.
open. And so I would look out it, and like if there was a crack either during the day I could see straight out it, or at night there was a light right there. So I could always see something
Right.
out of it. Well, I'm looking one day and it was black, and I like kind of tilted my head and like squinted at it because there's only this much light and like kind of a round top. And I was like, oh my God, somebody's fucking watching me.
Oh
it was
my
that
God.
little bald man next door.
No way.
And so I run out, like I was naked. I like just changed, put on my robe, and was taking off my makeup at the end of my bed. And I run out after him, and he's running down the stairs. And it's this huge bald man. And so I call the cops, and I sit outside of his front door with my taser and was just like,
Oh my God.
you know, his
Damn.
daughter came out, and I was like, so where's your dad?
How old was his daughter?
She was like my age, like
No
20-something.
way.
She was going to work. And I was just like, do you have a man that lives here that's like about yay tall, Hispanic, bald? And she was just like, I mean, my dad, but he's at work. And I was like, when does he get off work? And she was just like, I don't know. And I was like, he was just watching me through my window. I'm going to just break it to you right now. Because, like,
And what did she
somebody.
say?
She was like, no. And I was like, okay, well, the cops are coming anyway. So I was just so mad.
Oh my
I felt like
God.
maybe I shouldn't have said that to her. Like, that's like finding out Santa Claus isn't real.
Let
but,
her
like,
know
more
though. You know,
intense.
if like if her dad's a weirdo, she
Well,
deserves to know.
Yeah, so there was that. Now it's just like I live on a pretty rough street, and this gang has taken a liking to me. And so anytime I drive up and down the street, they like run out in the street and try to stop me and talk to me.
That's scary.
And so I just try to wave and drive as fast as possible. I'm like, oh, sorry. Yeah. Like they ran up to me with whippets the other day in like balloons, and I was like, I'm good.
That's crazy. What kind
Yeah.
of? I don't know if you could say.
I don't know what kind of whippets it was.
No,
Is that what you're
gang. I was
asking?
asking what gang
was
was
like,
it?
I don't
There's
know.
different kind of whippets.
I didn't even
I
know
don't
that.
know.
I
don't even know what a whippet is.
I said what kind? I think they're called like the Diamond Gang because one of them follows me on Instagram. He like made me get his Instagram and he only
Wait, the
posts.
Diamond Gang?
I think so.
The guy that dropped your Starbucks off is called the Diamond.
Wait, no, really?
Yeah, his name was Diamond.
Well, this is taking
It was just my
interesting
homies
twist.
bringing me my matcha.
Hey, well, at least you got like protection now. If like say that one dude were to like come check you out, you could be like, hey,
Right? I
homies.
told him I was a lesbian. I was like, I'm so gay. No men for me because I'm so scared. They keep inviting me out, and I'm like,
Wow.
I don't wanna. I'm so scared.
Jeez. Okay. Well, it seems like you have a pretty very interesting life, and I wish we could tell more of it, but this podcast is gonna go on forever if we do.
Yeah, I'm so sorry. I
That-
could talk all day long.
No, it's definitely interesting, and I want to just say, if there's any creepy dudes listening to this right now, stop being so creepy. Because like these stories right here are like terrifying. Like I almost don't want to have a daughter just because of stories like this.
Just don't. Just have.
If I could figure out a way to not, I will. But I don't know if you could choose that kind of stuff.
It's scary.
That's terrifying.
Hard not live. I'm still switching between
do your
White
thing.
Claw and matcha.
Do your thing. Where can the people find you if they don't know who you are right now, Leslie?
Leslie Hannah Bell
Check
on
her
Instagram.
out.
Honestly, just check out Brennan's page. I'm gonna make him
Please.
post me on a story or something.
Please check me out. We can use it at Brennan. Anyways, thank you for coming on here and sharing some of your stories. I know some of them might have been a little bit personal, but thanks for getting into
Yeah.
it with us.
Yeah.
Means a lot. We hope that gang leaves you alone,
Or maybe they take care of me.
or maybe they take care of you.
They're my people, you know.
You know, be careful who you claim. That's all I'm saying. Anyways, guys, that's it for the Sus podcast. I hope you enjoyed it. Go leave us 5 stars on iTunes and let us know what you guys want us to talk about and who you want to have on the podcast in the reviews, and we will be taking your guys' suggestions and giving you guys shout outs. So until next time, we love you so much, and we will see you guys later. Peace. Thanks for listening to Sus, Share Your Scare. Make sure to subscribe and check back every Wednesday for new episodes, and don't forget to tell your friends. Follow all of our social media links at shareyourscare.com. We're going to be doing tons of giveaways, but only for our most active fans. If you have a scare of your own that you want to share, leave us a voicemail. Our number is 626-275-8695. Or if you just want to shoot us an email, our email is shareyourscarepod@gmail.com, and that's spelled with a U-R. Until next Wednesday, stay sus.